You're listening to Where Before Meets After. Let's go somewhere fun for the last question.
I
Totally unrelated to, maybe not, totally unrelated to potty contouring. Okay. When you're on an airplane and the flight attendant gets on and says, "Is there a doctor on the plane?" What do you do?
I've had that happen 3 times.
And what do you do?
I've had that happen 4 times.
Really?
4 times.
Yes.
Yeah. I always pony up and I volunteer. The last time it happened was the most significant one. It was a couple years ago. I was coming home from Morocco. We were somewhere over the middle of the Atlantic, actually a little closer to Spain than the mid. A gentleman in coach, I was sitting in first class with my wife, was going into urosepsis. And he was getting shocky.
That's a real problem.
Yeah, we were in the middle of nowhere. So this was Air Morocco. So I asked if they had a blood pressure machine, and they brought one out with the batteries, the dead batteries taped to the back of it. There was no pulse oximeter, but someone had an Apple Watch. We did manage to get him to take fluids orally, and we needed antibiotics. And by the way, there were 2 urologists and an internist who also put their hands up, but they weren't being very active, so I was kind of taking the lead. And I realized if we can get some antibiotics into him, we might have a shot. Flight attendant in English, Arabic, and French requested people bring up their medications. So we're looking through the medications to see, because we all had antibiotics with us, but they were in our baggage. So I was like, oh, thank you, sir. No, Viagra is not an antibiotic. But someone actually did have.
But to him, it's as important.
Yeah. So someone did have some cephalosporin. We got that into him. Meanwhile, I was meeting with the pilot regularly in the cockpit, and we were plotting where we could divert. And she pointed to some little numbered islands in the middle of the Atlantic that don't have a name. They have numbers. I think they were part of the Azores as a possibility. And fortunately, the guy was able to rally, and we made it to JFK, where he got medical attention. And I spoke to his family the next day, and he was fine. And I spent most of the trip in coach. So,
did you get wings for that?
Actually, it's funny. I gave Air Morocco my email, my phone, everything.
They
never did.
I didn't. They were very appreciative on the plane.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as a corporation, they completely ignored me after that. What happens if the surgeon is the patient? So I was giving a talk for Venus a few months ago. I had a bit of a cough, and one of my friends who works for the company gave me some little Tessalon pills, which I've had before to suppress my cough. And she gave it to me. It was on a Friday night before the meeting. And I took it, no problem. And then when I got Saturday, I got there 1 hour right before to give my talk. And she gave me one of those little things. I took it. And within minutes, I felt my throat. I'd never experienced this before, closing up. And I said to myself, oh my God, I guess this is what anaphylaxis feels like. So there's a room full of couple hundred people. They're giving presentations. I'm due to go on in 45 minutes. So I go up to my friend. I say, Sabina, sorry to bother you. I think I'm having an anaphylactic reaction. So we go into a back room, and there was a doctor there who was, I guess, medical director or something or another. It was a medical meeting, and I needed some epinephrine. They had called EMS, but EMS wasn't there yet. Someone who was in the audience happened to have an EpiPen.
And are you getting worse at this time, or what's going on?
Well, they gave me some Benadryl and stuff, so it was already starting to stabilize. It wasn't a bad attack. And I did the EpiPen, and then I felt great. And when EMS came, we just sent them away. 30 minutes later, I did the only thing I could do. I gave my talk on schedule.
That was my next question. I knew you gave the presentation anyway.
I gave the presentation.
Did they give you wings?
Maybe talked a little fast from all the epi in your system. It was just boom, 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 boom.
Those pens,
those pens, the one I got is the one that talks to you and instructs you. It's like an AED in a pocket size. It's $600. So I made sure that the company made that donor, I don't know who it was, whole, because that is not a cheap drug.
It's a great place to end. Thank you both. All right, give me your Instagram, your website, and where to find you.
EpsteinPlasticSurgery.com. And our Instagram is dr.mark, M-A-R-K, Epstein. You can find me on Long Island in Hauppauge. It's in Suffolk County.
And I am a SoCal plastic surgeon, Matt Nichol, in Newport Beach.
Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Eva Shea. Follow the show and submit questions for our experts at wherebeforemeetsafter.com. Where Before Meets After is a production of The Axis.